It is now very clear that there is a systematic approach where the Moses Kainerugaba camp is doing everything within their plan. I've done several videos on this telling you how the transition is already in progress. And the family of General Kaguta Museveni is trying to filter out who will be the front runner to take up the mantra from their father. But also, as the opposition is galvanizing around Robert Kyagulanyi, there is a lot of things going on. People from the PLU are fighting RWABWOGO using Daudi Kabanda, and I think it is a mistake. Daudi Kabanda is overstepping the boundaries, because I keep on telling people that family is number one. For you as a politician to attack your boss's family, it is something that a wise person should not engage in. Through a tweet, Daudi Kabanda came out to accuse RWABWOGO, and he said, I have reliably been informed that RWABWOGO went to the president with a number of my tweets about him, and that seemed to restrain me from speaking about him or condemn me publicly by referring to me as a crook, so that I can lose credibility in society and in my constituency. What the president needs to tell RWABWOGO is to stop being corrupt and a land grabber. When Milton Obote referred to President Museveni as a bandit and swine, it actually didn't mean that he was, and it never stopped him from chasing his mission. What can actually stop me from talking about the thieves like him is death, nothing else. Kabanda, whom he wants to refer to as a crook, actually got NRM 71% in Mubende with zero budget from NRM. RWABWOGO instead defrauded NRM supporters in districts of Kirhura and Kazo. Now between Kabanda and RWABWOGO, who is a crook? That's a tweet of Daudi Kabanda. 1. Daudi Kabanda, as a son from the Uganda, I can see you are dancing with a guilt on. If you're in an organization, even if your boss has perceived difference with one of his family members, don't enter in that battle. Because family is easy to settle. RWABWOGO can meet Moses Kainerugaba in an informal way anytime, and they resolve their issues. And the moment they resolve them, guess who they will throw under the bus? Daudi Kabanda, if it is true that RWABWOGO met General Kaguta Museveni to report you, and you still chest stamp, just know your goose is cooked. For you to come out and purport that you got 71% of the votes within Mubende for NRM, you don't know how NRM works. You just look at the prospect of Mubende. From 2016, there used to be 81%, 92% before even your participation in Mubende district. Second of all, NRM thrives in vote bribery and thuggery. Even without you, Kabanda, they will still cheat elections and get even a more percentage. That is the truth. I've seen several leaders tagging the support of General Kaguta Museveni on them. It has not ended well. Look at the prospect of Mubende since 2011. It has always been getting a representation of NRM, not until maybe when NUP came, they got some representation of of the opposition because Bobi Wine is strong. Kabanda, you are dancing with a guillotine. It is the truth. It is the reason as why. Ask yourself why you were demoted as the SG PLU. Because General Museveni doesn't want such people, especially wise people, because I cannot count Kabanda and the stupid people. When it even came to the administration of parliament, Kabanda, you are a front runner. The system put you out because you're overzealous, because of not understanding. Stop engaging in family battles. Because I know transition is here. I know NRM is going home. And you are going to become among the casualties. So the purpose of this video, I've come to talk about Daudi Kabanda and the fights he fights against RWABWOGO, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the study materials you can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're into this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagai. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. One, I say all of this not because I'm a supporter of RWABWOGO or the NRM party. No, because I believe that NRM is a party that needs to be stopped. The family of General Kaguta Museveni, we must work hard so that there is not a succession. Uganda needs a transition. Giving the presidency to the family members of General Kaguta Museveni, it is to be a succession, which I don't believe in. Uganda is at a point where transition is a must, where a paradigm shift must happen. But to see one of the sons of Uganda taking his neck to the guillotine without knowing or being stupid, I must come out and talk about this. One, if indeed Daudi Kabanda is acting this way, it means two things. Either is being sent by Moses Kainerugaba to do that actual work, or is doing something he doesn't understand out of curiosity or being not understanding issues. Families are no goes on even with differences, most especially in politics. RWABWOGO married Muhoozi's sister. After settling their differences, they can come for you. In fact, saying that RWABWOGO is corrupt, which is by the way is the truth, but Daudi Kabanda also lacks the decorum to talk about the corruption of RWABWOGO. And I'm going to give you the difference. The reason I'm saying this, Daudi Kabanda also came out with a tweet coming out to say, can you imagine that 75 billion shillings was allocated to RWABWOGO and he's clicked to teach Uganda how to drink coffee? I know the president does not want public discussion about members of his family, but we must be allowed to speak about those whose action tarnish the name of the president and the NRM and the NRM. RWABWOGO himself encouraged us to speak out, so let us speak. I have only one son. That is Daudi Kabanda, accusing RWABWOGO of being corrupt. By the way, that is a legitimate point. RWABWOGO got 75 billion shillings to teach Uganda how to drink coffee. Of course, it was a corruption scandal. But I don't think General Museveni knows that. It was a kit given to his son-in-law to get something. General Museveni is a master of corruption. It is a truth. That's why they get unlimited budget in State House for doing politics. He knows it. But if Daudi Kabanda truly feels like fighting corruption, okay, let's start speaking. Mawanda was arrested for corruption. The case is ongoing. Almost a 200 billion scandal. Why don't you speak up? Remember during COVID, Besigye raised some pertinent issues about the Muhoozi family. Do you remember? Do you know someone who took money? That is according to Besigye's tweet, where he accused General Moses Kainerugaba and the wife taking money for COVID. And I don't know how true it is, but he talked about it to Besigye. Why don't you also talk about it? Okay? So, weaponizing corruption because you don't like someone, it is bad. If indeed Daudi Kabanda feels like corruption is taking on, Daudi Kabanda also collected the money on the birthday of General Kaguta Museveni. You've never accounted for it. Questions must be asked. First of all, I'm not doing this video to protect RWABWOGO, because even the 75 billion shillings of teaching people to drink coffee, it was a kit, it was corruption. How can government invest in a private scheme where we're not sure that we are going to reap back our money? So for me, my only concern is Daudi Kabanda is playing on party differences that is going to bring problems in the near future. And you will refer to this video when everything happens. Of course, that's my opinion. My name is truly Mr. Mark and the Kabisola Man Margaret. If you're into this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that I'm motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.